Previously on Real Garbage.
This is for you!
Coming up on this episode of Real Garbage, Jeff asks the tough questions. Are you a vampire?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that sounds like something a vampire would say. All that and more on this episode of Real Garbage. But first, here's a quick word from our fake sponsors.
This episode of Real Garbage is brought to you by my mocking voice.
This episode is also brought to you by chicken wings, because there's nothing like taking an animal and bathing it in its unborn young and then deep frying and eating it.
Chicken wing, hot dog, and bologna.
Oh, Christ.
You don't have to do one.
That'll be it.
Yep. This is Real Garbage. Welcome back, Evan.
Hello.
Oh, we're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing
We're live. Hey, we
We're
are
live. You guys should get a live sign in here.
We're not live, though. We're
Yeah.
pre-recorded.
Well, it's
But
just
we
for
could
fun.
live stream.
It's true. I'll put it on my list.
A live stream.
Silly
Yeah.
fool. He doesn't know there's no list at all. What's happening?
Nothing.
It's been a little
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. I love
When
it.
was the
Why?
last time you guys? The last time. When was the first time?
Jurassic
Was that-
World
yeah, was that-
Terminator Genesis?
Was that like
Yeah.
a year and a half ago though?
Like a year.
yeah,
at
it would have
least.
been last
It was
summer.
before Dark Fate came out because we were
Yeah.
reviewing Dark Fate.
Yeah.
And so that would have been with the Terminator movies. I think is that the characters don't know how the time travel works.
Yeah.
So they're like, we have to follow these rules or else we don't know what will happen,
Mhm.
right?
That was the summer of
It would have been
69?
summer. Yeah.
2019. So
Yeah, it
maybe
would've been
a year and a
would've been
half.
the summer.
Yeah.
They
Wow.
might have just before the summer, maybe. So.
Crazy. So nothing.
Crazy. No. No. Yeah. I've just been waiting for today, actually. So,
Oh. Well,
for a
yeah,
year and a
welcome.
half.
Glad you made it, man.
Right.
we took you outside and sanitized you earlier before you got in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I already sanitized myself, but you felt the need to do it anyway, so that's all right.
Brandon was so jealous when I said I was hanging out with you today. I was like,
Oh.
I'm hanging out with Evan today. And he was like, what? I was like, for a
Okay.
podcast. Heard it here
All those
first.
guys,
You heard
the
it there, Brandon.
Harleys,
Fuck you.
all of them.
Oh,
Stole
wait.
my gym from me.
Are you aware of the new our new censorship?
Oh, no, he's
Oh,
not.
No.
No. You can
No.
you can swear.
We're-
It's not encouraged, but you can swear. But every time you swear, it's going to be me burping over your swears.
Just the
just-
f***s and the shits.
Yeah,
There we Sorry.
the burps and the burps.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad.
Welcome back.
Last episode, don't feel bad if you drop a couple. Last episode, Jeff had to censor me like 25 times.
35 times in total. 30 were hers. 5 were mine.
Nothing quite like tuning into a podcast to listen to a bunch of burps. eh? Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
The people love it though.
The people love it. All right.
The
Yeah.
views are up on the burp compilation videos.
Yeah.
God damn.
Our
Pretty
voice
wild.
compilation number 2 just came out.
I was just, before I came, I was checking out what the most popular one was on YouTube. Was it the voice compilation?
You know, burps.
It's burps.
It's burps.
It's burps.
Burp compilation
Is it
number 2.
932 views? Is that what it is? That's the
Yeah.
burp one?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Crazy.
I got
That's
people
why
going
it's
like,
our censor.
when are you going to have the burp contest video? I'm like, nobody sent me any
Yeah.
burp videos. I put the call out. I was like, listen, if you've got burps, send them
Send
our
'em.
way, and we'll post them. We'll cut you into our compilation videos.
And
Nobody's done
nobody's, yeah.
Nobody's done it.
Everybody's scared.
It's on. Yeah.
Wow. I like this art over here, by the way.
Everybody likes that. I made that.
I don't like it anymore. Nah, dude.
Whoa.
Yeah, nah, I'm over it.
Wow. It's,
What about
rude.
that one in the hallway? Did you do that one too?
Yeah, I did.
I
actually.
don't like that one either.
Wow.
Just kidding. No, I do like it actually.
I made that with, you know how I did that? I put that, I'll put a picture up of it right here so people can see what we're talking about. But I put the canvases on the ground, like on picnic. Or
Did you do it in here?
Tablecloths, yeah. And I just used
no,
bottles of paint, so I would just kind of draw, like just all over in the lines that I wanted it, then just take a paint scraper and just kind of flick it here, flick it there. Man, I did one, the first ever one I did like that. I had
Oh,
a buddy
yeah.
walk in here one night, and he's like, who made that? I said, I did. We're just hammered. And he's like, I'll buy it off you. I'm like, I'm not selling my first piece of art. He goes, it'll give me $300. I'm like, so
Yeah.
here you go. I'm like, I'm choked though, because it was even cooler than that one.
It was blue and black. It
So
was
I-
really cool.
I
That
actually-
one looks kind of blue and black. Did you
well,
steal it back?
I was
or-
trying. No, I was trying to recreate it, but it just it doesn't look quite the same.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, man, I really hope Johnny's enjoying it because it was a pretty
in
cool
Alberta.
painting.
Alberta.
Shit, dude, I want one. I'm gonna make it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make my own.
Let's see, I can make you one.
Looks like
Bring
a
it next
dragon.
episode.
You're scared of dragons.
It's whatever. Oh yeah, well I was when I watched that
for 15 minutes.
Last Dragon
Yo,
in 2004.
that's what the movie I should have said was Reign of Fire.
Next time
You guys ever seen Reign of Fire?
Yes.
It's like
Yes.
the best movie ever.
we go to London.
Yeah, it's like the best. Oh, you're in for a treat.
Okay.
Next
Matthew
time, yeah.
McConaughey, Christian Bale.
Christian Bale,
Yeah.
Gerard Butler.
Dragons are. Oh wait,
Ooh.
Gerard Butler's in there too.
Yeah.
Just
What
a-
about
just a
Dragonheart?
star-studded-
I know that one.
I haven't seen it.
With
in
Sean-
so
Don't
long.
call me Dragon.
Yeah, with Dennis Quaid.
Sean Connery.
There's like
Wow.
5 straight to DVD sequels too for that movie. Eh?
Well, that was like we got to get you in here for another In the Name of the King.
Oh
'Cause they've
my
made-
god.
3, if not 4 of those ones, and the first one with Jason Statham was awful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Uwe Boll, dude.
It was Uwe Boll.
That's the guy who made the first one.
Really?
You ever looked him up before?
No.
He this is so cliche to talk about Uwe Boll and shit on Uwe Boll like on a podcast, but
He's never gonna hear it.
no, he's never gonna hear it. Well, he might actually. He's a bit insane.
We'll tag him.
Pardon me, pardon my
Hey,
language.
Dick, this is about you.
No, yeah, literally, like basically, he was the guy. He made a bunch of movies in the 2000s. He somehow made a bunch of like movies based on video games, like Alone in the Dark, House of the Dead. And he made a bunch of those. Blood Rain. You ever hear Blood Rain? Those games.
Yes.
It's like a
No.
vampire kind of
Yeah.
thing. He made a movie of that. Oh, Far Cry. You know Far Cry?
Yeah.
You know Far Cry?
He made
He
a
made
movie.
what?
Yeah, there's a Far Cry movie.
Seriously?
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
weird.
So somehow he got all these rights to make all these movies, and he did, and something to do with like the movies are always so terrible, and they're just awful, but something to do with some sort of insurance plan he has that if the movie flops, he gets a big check. I don't understand it.
Interesting.
But Michael Bay called him out once, and Uwe Boll, he's like this German guy. He's like Michael Bay, and and he organized a boxing match with all of his like critics.
What?
Yeah,
Like all at the same time?
I
in the
can't
ring,
believe
or-
this. I
What?
can't believe this. You guys need to look up Uwe Boll. You guys,
Yeah.
especially if I had known that, I would have said Alone in the Dark as the movie today. But
Hey, we have we now have
Yeah.
the capability to do this multi mics all the time now. I
There
don't
we
have to
go.
rent gear, so anytime you want to come back, you're always welcome
There
back.
we go.
Yeah.
And you just named like 5 movies
yeah,
that we need
literally
to
like
review.
5 movies.
Yeah, so we're
I
bringing
got
you
them all on
back 5
DVD.
times.
Really?
Yeah, I own them.
You
I
actually
used
have
to
a
hunt them
DVD
down.
player?
Well,
Yeah.
you have a
Oh, the
DVD player
PlayStation.
too.
Well, yeah, I
You got a
just got it.
PlayStation.
But I don't have any DVDs. I don't have one DVD.
I used to
I
be a
have-
collector.
Yeah, I have so many DVDs and VHSs.
Did you collect them too? Were you
Yeah.
like, yeah.
And laser discs. Evan and I
Yeah.
bonded over that when we
Laser
first
discs.
Actually.
met. Yeah.
What the heck
Yeah.
is it? Okay, what is a laser disc exactly?
It was like it was a video home format, a home video format, and it competed with like VHS.
But was it any good? Like, how does it
It had
how does
better
it compare?
quality than VHS. It was basically like an early form of DVD.
Yeah.
They're like They're like record-sized DVDs.
Yeah,
They're
I remember them being pretty big.
Yeah, but but there's lots of problems with them. Like if your movie is more than an hour and a half, like you gotta get up like 5 times because you have to change the disc.
I had enough
So-
of a problem just having double VHS.
Yeah, Titanic
Yeah.
on
Oh,
VHS.
Titanic.
Somebody
Yeah.
didn't rewind the second part. I'm not
Yeah.
even gonna finish it.
Yeah,
You're like, I know what happens. He dies.
yeah. I'm pretty sure Titanic's on like 5 discs, and then
Yeah.
each disc is like double-sided.
Wow.
So if your player doesn't read both sides of the disc, you got to get up and flip the disc, and also change the discs. So.
That just sounds like way too
But
much
it's a
work.
fun piece of
Yeah,
technology.
exactly. Yeah,
It's a
It is
relic.
fun. It's fun when you have a player and you like push like open, and it's like, and it's like a DVD tray the size of a record comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Was Dracula on Laserdisc?
Oh, yeah, it would've
5
been.
disc set?
I think,
1992. Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure the last movie that would have come out on Laserdisc, I think it was Sleepy Hollow, actually, the Johnny Depp one.
I remember
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, you
With
like
the
that
headless
movie?
headless horseman. Right?
I like Johnny Depp.
Okay, all right, all right. Let's,
And Christina Ricci.
Whatever
is
happened
she
to
in
her?
that? I don't. is she
She's the
bl-
blonde one.
She was, yeah. She was in that. I remember
Yeah.
the cover was like the two of them. She was like here.
Yeah.
Oh right.
And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
it was
yeah.
like, what was the Jack? What was the name of the headless horseman?
You talking about Christopher Walken?
I mean, come on.
The Headless
the Headless Horseman from
that's his
Sleepy
name.
Hollow.
Headless
But they had
Horseman.
like a
The Walking
name
played
though.
him. I don't know. What
Some
is it?
Jack or Jack something.
Ichabod. Are you thinking of
Ichabod
Jack
Cr-
Skellington?
No.
I think
I
you
thought it
were
was-
thinking of Jack
It's
Skellington.
Headless Jack, isn't it?
I don't
No,
think so.
Ichabod Crane actually was the Headless Horseman.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
Ichabod
Yeah, because then
Jack.
there's a cartoon of Ichabod
Jack
and
Crane,
the toad.
Ichabod Headless. I don't know.
Jack Crane, Ichabod, mother,
Ichabod
son of a
Headless
rat
Jack
toot.
Crane from Sleepy Hollow.
I was gonna
know
cuss,
what
and
that
then I was like, no.
It's hard not to.
You're trained
I know.
well. You're trained well, both of you.
One roasting, yeah.
Wasn't a roast. It was
No,
just
I
a
know.
suggestion. Miss F-bomb.
Suggestion: don't swear
Like-
that much. I've had to dub you over
You
30
get-
I've censored
times.
you 5 times in the last minute.
That's a lot of work you're putting yourself
Yeah.
through.
So, yeah, well, it's just extra
Well,
editing, right?
we eventually want to be monetized, and YouTube won't monetize Fs or S's.
So we have to get monetized first, and then we can swear all we want.
Yeah. Then we
I've
can be
noticed
like,
that. There's guys that are like up in the upper echelons of YouTube who are like,
well, PewDiePie.
yeah, he swears.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's got like 30
He-
I
million
think it's
subscribers.
because
Yeah.
they I think it's because and this is kind of like in comedy too. If you swear too much, they don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like in down in Los Angeles at the Laugh Factory.
Mm-hmm.
They do an open mic once a week. I don't know if you've ever looked this up, but they do an open mic once a week. You got to sign up the week before, and you have to line up like the week before too.
Yeah.
Like it's not like it's not like it's gonna be easy.
Kind of like
'cause-
Comedy Store where you got to
Yeah.
be there the day before kind of thing.
and they'll only accept you and keep you on as a regular if they like you, and you can't swear during that open mic act.
So we brought you back on here, and your pick was 1992's Bram Stokers Dracula.
Yeah, I picked it real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were. I was like, hey, dude, what movie do you want to do? Like, Evan is typing. Bram Stokers Dracula, 1992. I'm like, okay.
Okay. Okay,
I
damn.
was like, had that in the holster, like,
Yeah.
I was ready to go, dude. Because you said it had to be like a spooky choice.
Yeah, because it's
So I was like,
October.
Yeah. Okay.
even though,
Because it's October.
yeah, this episode's going to air. I'm going to air this on Friday. So,
The
yeah, it'll be the 30th.
Day before Halloween.
Actually, no, I'm going to release this on Halloween. Why not? Yeah, that's what we'll do. So, would you like to explain to our listeners and viewers, in a nutshell, just nutshell it for us, what
Yeah.
Dracula is about?
Well, if you don't know what Dracula's about, because it is the oldest, it's like it's the
big one.
granddaddy
Yeah.
of horror.
Because
right?
before it,
Like,
it was just like Nosferatu.
Yeah.
From the 20s, 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the book Dracula was published in like 1897.
Yeah.
And this movie's pretty accurate to the book.
Yeah.
There are differences for sure.
But this is
But-
the most accurate
But
Dracula
it's one of the
movie.
most accurate, if not the most accurate. I haven't done a comparison.
It is. I looked at the
You
trivia.
looked it up, yeah, and it's the most accurate.
So, wait, because
Um,
this movie takes place in 1897. So, you tell me the book came out the same time this movie
Yeah.
took place?
Yeah,
Is that where Van Helsing got all of his info?
probably.
What?
You
What?
You said the Dracula, the book was written in 1897.
Yes.
This movie takes
place
place in
in
1897.
'cause- yeah.
So you're telling me they're like, man, we don't know what's going on. Why are there fang marks? And like, had Van Helsing been like, I read this book. I know all the information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Anyway, okay. So,
So if he had the book, if you're saying if Anthony Hopkins had the book in the movie,
Van
that's
Helsing,
how.
yeah. Is that how he knew everything? Because it makes sense now because it's the same year. I'm like,
Yeah.
how does he know
True.
about all this vampire stuff if
True.
nobody knew about it before? Because everyone else is like, oh, there's something wrong with Lucy here. Like, what's
Yeah.
going on? We don't know what's happening.
He knows everything.
Yeah, he knows everything. He's just
Yeah.
like, hold on. This is what it is.
I don't know. Like Dracula's just like the ultimate vampire story,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's just crazy to me because this movie was made in '92, and it's very faithful to the book. And the book was published in 1897, and the movie is slow for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But the book is slow too. I haven't read the whole thing. I couldn't finish it because it was so goddamn slow. But it was. It just kind of blows my mind that something that's still kind of like effective today. I mean, I know the movie was made in '92, but like they could make it again, like today, right? And update it for sure. But just the very core concepts of it are something that were made like over 100 years ago, and it's still something that people make today. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
people
it's-
are still pumping out vampire movies.
Yeah, exactly. Like vampire movies and like Netflix just did a Dracula. Like
Yeah.
I haven't watched it. I don't
I
know.
haven't either.
I don't know if it's anything
on,
like it. But
it's on Netflix Canada's top 10. It launched a couple days ago, I think.
It's just called Dracula.
Just called
Netflix
Dracula.
original Dracula.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, like, as you're saying that, I'm like, oh, I wonder if they've redone it.
Yep.
Yeah. And then you guys did the Dracula one a few months ago.
Dracula
Dracula
Untold.
Untold.
Oh.
Man. Why?
Okay, all right. What's
No, yeah.
Okay, what,
I'm just giving a chef's kiss because what's his nuts is hot as
God.
the movie wasn't good,
What the,
but he sure is.
Deckard Shaw? Or,
No.
No, it's his brother, right? Yeah, the
Deckard
guy that
Shaw.
plays
What
guy
is-
that
Oh, yeah.
plays Dracula. No, stupid. No, he's the Shaw brother from
Yeah.
Fast and the Furious. What the hell?
I thought you were saying his name in real life.
No, I don't know what
I
his
was
name
like,
is, but
no,
that's who that's a
dumbass.
character that he's played.
No, what's his name? Shit.
I don't know.
He,
Doesn't-
Luke
doesn't
he's
matter.
yes.
Who? What?
Yeah.
Luke Evans.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
What a nice specimen.
Oh, yeah, okay. So just for the viewers and listeners, just explain what this movie
Yeah,
is in a nutshell. Just start to finish.
I can't explain
Okay.
what Dracula is. Okay, there's so much that happens.
Just
and it's
just
so many
cliff,
plot
just cliff
lines.
noted. I know, but
Yeah.
all you got okay. How would you explain this
There's
to someone
a
who's never seen it?
vampire in Transylvania, and he wants to move to London. And the end. Like that. I don't know.
There you go. Well,
there's a
Keanu Reeves is a what is
He's
he?
a realtor
He's
or
a, he's a
something?
No,
realtor
he's
who
a
gets-
lawyer.
He's a lawyer who goes
Which
to
is so-
Transylvania
Which is
Okay.
to sort out. Huh?
okay.
What?
it just doesn't make sense to me because like eventually they're like, Jonathan doesn't make that much money. He's a lawyer. Like
This is
Well, it
the
is 1897
This is the
too.
1890s. Like I'm pretty sure things were.
He's getting
not,
a few shillings here.
Yeah.
And there.
but
See, how I would explain it is,
Yes, you go ahead.
realtor goes to Transylvania to sort out the
Lawyer.
dealings of lawyer goes to Transylvania to sort out the dealings of a rich aristocrat who's also a vampire who falls in love with the lawyer's fiance because he thinks it's his ex-lover.
she's reincarnated.
Yeah.
Reincarnated.
He goes to London to seduce her while leaving the lawyer at his castle to get messed up by his three wives, and then they eventually hunt the vampire down and kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
it.
that's good. Yeah,
that's,
all
that's
right.
the
Yeah,
nutshell.
okay,
that's
there
the
you go.
nutshell version.
Yeah. All right. I can't. There was just so much, dude. I didn't know where to
A
break it down.
Transylvanian vampire moves to London. The end.
Yeah, the end.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
That's
Is
stupid
that
movie.
where Werewolf in London came from?
See, that's what I started
Probably.
thinking when you said it was a werewolf.
'Cause
He
he's
turned
a
into a
hairy
werewolf and he's banging her, and I'm like, ow.
Well, because here's-
werewolf in London.
Yeah.
Werewolf sex party in London.
And the reason I brought the Dracula Untold thing is because Dracula Untold took the first 5 minutes of this movie and just turned it into a whole movie.
Yeah.
Because I can't confirm, but from what I understand is that backstory for Dracula, like the whole like Vlad the Impaler, was made up in
No,
this
Vlad the-
movie.
Vlad the Impaler was
that's
real.
like
But-
a real story.
No, it is, but they tied it.
Oh,
But, like,
yes.
Like I don't think that was like a thing that was connected to Dracula.
No, they
until
just-
this movie.
yeah.
Oh, I gotcha. I
Like
see what you're saying.
now people go, oh, Vlad the Impaler, Dracula, but that wasn't really a thing
No.
until this movie. And like that whole like backstory of Dracula, none of that's even in the book as far as I'm aware. Like that's all in this movie.
Yeah, to give you a little bit of like, backstory to get the story started here. Let's jump right into this. It starts in 1497. We get the story of Dracula.
I like the way they say it.
Dracula.
Dracula. And he's, okay, I have to say that
Dracula.
impaling that many people on a battlefield and
That
spearing
guy's
them into the ground,
ripped.
that would just be exhausting.
Yeah.
Or unless he's buff
Well,
as heck.
If his armor says anything, it might be fitted. He's pretty jacked, but Gary Oldman's not a very big guy.
The hair extensions on Gary Oldman, I couldn't get past.
The hair on Gary Oldman in so many scenes. Like,
yeah.
could not.
Yeah. But specifically the hair extensions, that's the one thing hair and makeup kind of did not do well at is blending his natural hair with them. It was so PC.
Only you would notice that.
I was
I had
like-
no idea. I was like, his hair's long. And
I just
long.
noticed when it was like bunny, when he
Yeah.
was old and it was the two buns,
Yeah.
right? Like everybody makes fun of that, though, but like
The butt hair.
I didn't
The
pay
butt hair.
full attention to the first 2 minutes of this, and I was like, why is he mad why'd she kill herself?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he says, the narrator, Anthony Hopkins, says right there, they tricked him and
Yeah.
shot an arrow with a letter that said he's dead.
He
and she was like,
dead.
ah, crap. She jumps off of the castle.
Yeah.
Looks pretty good for falling a couple hundred feet into the river. And then she just landed a little bit of blood trickling over.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, well, no, you should have been in pieces. Pieces,
Yeah.
a little bloated. They probably wouldn't have found her for days because
It's a fairy tale.
It's a river. Why no?
It's a fairy tale. Can you give it a break?
No, that's not the point of this podcast. We're supposed to not give movies breaks.
Do you think did you feel bad for Dracula though? Like in that beginning?
Oh, absolutely. That would
Yeah.
suck, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's like, man, I just killed this entire army of guys and I impaled them all in a day's work. And he's like, I'm gonna go bang my fiance, and now he's like, oh no, she's dead.
Yeah. So you're on his side, right?
Well, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he wasn't an evil vampire at that point.
No.
He was just a dude defending his castle
Yeah.
and his kingdom.
Do you think that first 5 minutes is better than Dracula Untold?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Have you seen Dracula?
Yeah, I
Untold?
saw it in the theater.
Well, then I couldn't understand why would you turn into a whole, what's like a flock of bats called? Is there a name for it?
I don't know.
Gaggle of bats. Why would you turn into a whole bunch of bats instead of just one big bat?
Yeah.
Like it just seemed like it would take a lot of energy and effort to break yourself into like 1,000 bats.
I can barely control myself.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to control? How would you control a flock of yourself?
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like, you're a hive mind for sure, but it just seems impractical. It would make more sense if you were like, I'm going to turn into some sort of animal, to turn into an animal the same size as you. Because imagine flying around as a 180-pound bat and just slamming into people, and like people on a battlefield wouldn't know what to think.
Yeah.
Like, man, I just got hit by a truck.
Yeah.
Truck-sized bat. I mean, not a truck-sized bat, but a big bat. Rather than like, there's 100 bats hitting me in the face.
Question.
Well.
Wait, are you talking about Dracula
Yes.
Untold? Sorry, pee break. I have a question about this one. I don't know if we've passed that.
No, we should stay on topic. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So when she leaps to her death and doesn't shatter into a million pieces, and Gary Oldman,
It's a fairy tale. It's a fairy tale.
Gary
Let's get
Oldman's
over
like,
it.
no,
Yeah.
and he like takes his sword and stabs the cross.
Yeah.
So are we led to believe that God made him into a vampire?
Or did the devil?
Why was the cross bleeding?
See, that's what made me think
Everything was bleeding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, why is there so much
But
blood?
that kind of shit was
Oh,
cool.
It was-
yeah.
it was
It was
neat.
very nightmarish. And
Yeah,
just like
oh,
the
yeah.
visuals of it, I just thought were very cool, right?
The
Like,
blood didn't look.
Yeah, so I
real,
guess
though.
the devil makes more sense. Like him stabbing the cross is the ultimate. I'm done with
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
no more. I
Here's
don't.
God.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then the
cross is
devil
like,
was probably
"Ow."
like, excellent.
Yeah, it's like selling your soul to the devil. Like I took it as that is essentially what he was doing.
Because
right?
the
Yeah.
blood is the. What does he say? The blood is the life.
Yeah.
Blood
Yeah,
is the
whatever that
something.
means.
The blood is the life.
Well-
blood is actually death, I guess.
Dude, Gary Oldman goes hard though. In that.
Yeah.
Like, he sells everything he's
What
in.
language is he speaking?
I don't know, Transylvanian.
Yeah,
I don't know. Is that a
probably
Latin, maybe.
Romanian,
That
like
sounds
old
right.
Romanian.
That sounds
It
right.
sounded cool anyway. It sounded like legit.
Yeah. Yeah, like if you
Oh,
turn
yeah.
the subtitles off, that's the thing though too about this movie. And I think
watched it
that
with subtitles.
that's the thing though.
I did too.
Just about like most movies, I watched with subtitles too, but most movies, like movies forget, hey, that they're a visual storytelling. Like I love Christopher Nolan movies, but you couldn't watch a Christopher Nolan movie and understand what was going on if you turned the subtitles off.
Yeah.
Like you would have to, or if you turned like the audio off, like you know what I
Oh,
mean? Like if you turned the audio off, you'd have no idea what was going on in the whole
Yeah.
movie. But this is but especially like in that first 5 minutes, you'd understand what was going on like right away, right? Like you
yeah,
get it,
he's
right?
pissed.
He's pissed, and you would know why too, right?
Yeah.
Like you
Well,
know,
that just goes to show his being classically trained.
yeah. True.
You
He's
know-
just like a stage actor, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, flash forward to 1897 now. Ba, 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 ba.
4 centuries
London.
later.
Yeah. So this is where we see Keanu Reeves. What was his name in this?
Jonathan Harker.
Harker. Okay, Jonathan. Yeah, it's Jonathan. That's right. I just kept writing Keanu.
I wrote BB Keanu.
We see. Yeah, he's very young in this.
This was I think this was like just around like Bill and Ted 2.
Yes. So,
So-
in the trivia, he said that,
Actually, 92 was Bogus Journey, I believe.
Yeah.
he
Same
said
here.
the reason he wasn't in it as much screen time wise, and the reason his screen time was very, I can't believe this has happened. is because he was so exhausted from doing movies back to back to back to back that he openly has admitted, I did not give my all in this. I couldn't give any more.
I made several notes of that.
Yeah, and noticing it, I realized Keanu could not necessarily could not care less, but he couldn't give anymore. He was just zapped.
He gets a lot of flack for his performance.
Oh,
in this
yeah.
movie. Like a lot. And yeah, he acknowledges it too. But I mean, like, at the same time, like, they put him up to a lot. Like, the dude was in, like, he had, like he hadn't done like The Matrix yet or anything, right? Like, he'd only done like Bill and Ted, like 1 and 2 and whatever he was doing in the early 90s.
Yeah,
like
this is before.
This was like a very intense movie.
Yeah,
that,
for
like,
someone who was just doing light comedy.
Comedies. Yeah. Like, and I also read that he was hired because they wanted somebody young and hip and attractive.
Because originally they were gunning for Johnny Depp to be that character, which I think, knowing his repertoire of work that he's done since, I think Johnny Depp would have been amazing in this.
Yeah.
He would have shined. But the director decided he wanted someone that the female viewers would pine after and be like, oh my God.
Johnny Depp kind of somebody they would pine after?
Yeah.
He actually lost roles because in his earlier career because he was too good looking.
Yeah. So that director's freaking high. I was like, is this an appropriate burp edit? And I was like, no.
Pick and choose them. You're like, I'm using it right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, what would you say though about like Keanu? Like, would you be like awful?
No,
not awful. I didn't understand why he didn't pick up on a lot of the subtleties of what was going on.
Yes.
Like when so he gets the order. We see Renfield's lost his mind, the lawyer that went to see Dracula before that. Yeah. He gets the assignment to go to Transylvania, says goodbye to his fiancee, Mina, and he's like, all right, I'm off. So he takes the carriage to Transylvania. Just make out a little bit.
Yeah, they're like,
it's 1897.
No, we're saving the fucking for later.
Yeah.
For the werewolves.
She's like, later. So he goes to Transylvania. What I didn't get was like he's in the house. He meets Dracula, and Dracula's like, I'll come in and leave your happiness at the door. And that's when I put subtitles on. I was like, what did he just say? I was like, oh, leave your happiness that you brought with you? Okay, interesting. Okay. And you can hear in the house like,
and you see the shadows moving independently.
Yeah.
His shadow
and
is not
Keanu's
following
like,
huh? What? Weird. And like,
Keanu's like, whoa.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I kept thinking was like, whoa. Yeah. You know, Dracula's floating around him. Like,
just gliding.
If you guys had floated through the patio door today, I probably would have went, you guys all right? You guys on drugs or something? Or am I on drugs?
Yeah.
Keanu calls him out for it, though. Like, he has enough, like, when he's shaving.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he calls him out for it. He's like, I've seen enough. Like, what's going on?
Well, even there, though, like the whole creepy, like, hand coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, and then touches him, and then he floats into the room, and Keanu's like, and then the mirror breaks.
Yeah, when he looks at it.
Oh, yeah. And the wolves are howling, like they're stopped, like right outside howling. And then he sees him crawling on the wall.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah.
And even there, I'm going, okay, Keanu. Like, so this is where I also started thinking, because I just watched What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, yeah.
Movie, and it does make fun of a lot of the tropes of vampire movies, which I'm like, oh, yeah, like the see me.
Yeah.
Or where you can be hypnotized by vampires. So that's why I was thinking maybe Dracula had him like a little bit hypnotized. Maybe that's kind of what he did when he showed up. So I gave him that. I was like, okay, maybe Dracula's got a bit of a spell over you, and that's why you're not reacting too much.
The spell comes in a few minutes, dude. When Keanu goes searching on his own.
Oh yeah. He's like, don't go sleeping in the rest of the castle because it's full of weird memories. And he's like, cool, all right, and then better go for a walk.
Apparently, when Keanu and Gary Oldman were filming that shaving scene, and Gary Oldman licked the razor, he was drunk as hell. He was
like
hammered.
Drunk?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
He was full on Hannibal Lectering there.
Yeah, they were filming really late at night at like midnight, and they had kept doing reshoots, and Gary Oldman just pounded back some booze and was hammered when he was like,
I think it kind of sells it more.
Oh,
though.
no, 100%.
Yeah,
If he was
yeah.
sober, I don't think he would have been as into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was a completely believable Dracula. Like, it was
Yeah.
a great role for him.
Mm-hmm.
So
And that's the other problem, hey, with putting him next to Keanu. Like
you-
they put Gary Oldman, who's selling it hard.
And has
Next to
so
Keanu.
many like credits and experience under his
Yeah.
belt already.
Yeah.
With baby Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Even Winona Ryder at this point, I think had done
They were
more.
all
She
over
had
there,
done
yeah.
Heather.
She had done
Heathers.
much more than Keanu.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
So now he goes, I remember this scene from when I was a kid, because I watched this when I was 10 or 12.
You
All
talking
the
about this next
titties?
scene
Oh,
with
yeah.
Keanu?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is a scene,
Dracula's three, as they're credited, Dracula's three wives.
too. How do I keep coming back
Yeah,
to
it was,
What was that
what
movie
I wrote
again?
down
I
the
go back and watch
time,
this scene,
too.
you know?
Where is it?
There's a lot going on. in
Yeah,
that
he
scene.
goes and explores and hears
32 minutes and
Mina's
40 seconds.
Dude, from the
Vampire
moment
titties.
the room of drapes and mattresses everywhere, I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah.
Like,
And then
this looks like a good place for a nap, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
even though he's like, don't sleep in this, I'm like, he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll lay down. They're like,
And
come on, come here.
Yeah, and he's hearing Mina's voice luring him.
was
and
it?
then
I didn't catch on.
Yeah, that was
it's-
Winona
that's-
Ryder's
I know, yeah, I
voice.
noticed that too. I was like,
Okay.
even there, he should have been like, wait a minute, that's
She's in
not
England.
she's not here.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And then he just gets seduced and orgified.
Yeah.
Orgified.
All basically raped.
Yeah.
He does.
No, totally. Yeah.
'Cause it works both ways.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the thing. I didn't understand. Like, why is it when people? It must be something with hypnotism or something. But whenever people are getting bitten by vampires, they make it look like they're feeling good.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know if like movies have never said this. Like, What We Do in the Shadows didn't say it, and they always made fun of that stuff, right? Like, you think they would have said like, oh, we make it feel really good, like, but they
Yeah.
didn't say anything like that in What We Do in the Shadows. So I don't like, and I looked it up, and people were like, I guess, like,
Well, think
so
about
they
it.
make 'em
Think about
feel
it this
good,
way. Think about like
okay, think about a what? way.
okay,
Let me, yeah.
BDSM, but mainly the SM parts, sadism and masochism, blending it in with like sex. So you're mixing in like pain and pleasure. So those
Where's the
girls,
pleasure though?
those girls were like sucking on his nipples,
Getting
making out
toothy
with
blowjob.
him. Yeah, going down on him, taking advantage of him, and he's like, "Ugh." And then they just start sucking him dry, and he's like, "What the?"
Yeah.
It's like BDSM, but take out the bondage and domination. It's just sadomasochism.
And then it's dinner time, and Dracula gives them a baby.
Yeah.
I don't know where we got the baby
And then
from.
Keanu's
From a
like,
nearby village, dude. I don't know.
He's just got a big box of babies.
yeah,
Here you go.
yeah.
That was a bit dark. I was
That's
like,
a dark part. Eh?
Yeah.
That's a scary part. Yeah. But this is kind of from there is kind of where the movie starts to really like drop though for me. Like that first like 25 minutes,
draws
I just
you in.
think it just draws
Yeah.
you in, dude. Like like from the moment Keanu's on the train going to Transylvania, and
Yeah,
it's,
with
like,
the eye in the
orange and
sky.
eyes in the sky, and then like the carriage drops him off, and like the gypsies like give him like the cross, and then they
Yeah.
leave him, and it's like just creepy and foggy and misty, and then the other carriage shows up with the scary ass dude on
Yeah.
it, which I can only assume was Dracula in
Probably.
disguise. You guys are gross. You guys are so gross.
what, though?
Burping,
People
and
love 'em.
farting.
People,
on your
I haven't done any farts.
podcast.
You know what though? You know who started it? Who actually made it? No. Like Howard Stern.
No?
Howard Stern burped on his radio show for years. He's been on the air for like 30 years. Burps, takes the mic, farts into the mic, does 4
That-
hours, 4 hours a day, 3 days a week, and he's one of the biggest names
I'm
in
pretty
radio.
sure. Also, I'm pretty sure that's the first time I've like
That is,
openly
you've
burped
had-
on this
That's your
podcast.
second burp ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
So shut the.
Shut the
Be censoring with her
Shut
burp.
the.
So this is where Keanu's like, he says, you're going to stay here. You're going to stay here for a month.
Oh, yeah.
And send the letters and 3 letters.
But
So-
that was before.
Yeah, that was before the
we kind
rape.
of skimmed over a little bit. We go back. We see we get introduced to Lucy. We meet Arthur, Carrie Elwes.
Oh yeah,
Elwes?
the Princess
I can
Bride.
never- I can
Ellis.
never
Princess
pronounce
Bride.
it.
I just watched the
Elvis?
first Saw last night. He's in that.
He was
He's
good in
in
that.
Mhm, yeah.
That was the only good song.
Yeah, that's the only
Yeah.
one that's actually like a
Actually,
movie.
okay.
All right, here we go. You're like, Saw 2 and
Tangents.
3 are actually pretty good. No.
I was gonna say Saw 2.
I haven't
no,
seen
wait,
Saw
is-
2 start to finish in years, but
Is
They're
Saw
all just
no,
the same
no.
thing, just with different traps.
No, I think it's Saw 2. The one where Amanda gets thrown into the
That's
needle
Saw
pit.
2, yeah.
That ooh.
Oh,
no, like don't get me wrong, like the traps through it, all of them are creative.
Yeah.
But the first one is like the only one that's actually like a movie.
Feature film.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
he
totally.
got up off the floor in that first
Oh.
one. I remember just going like, "What?
Yeah. Yeah.
No!" And he's like,
Yeah.
"The key for that thing is right there."
Yeah.
And it went, yeah.
Went down the bathtub.
You idiot.
Yes, the key for those cuffs just went down the bathtub.
What was his plan initially? Like that
to
they would
make
find the
them
keys and let themselves out?
I guess.
Yeah.
Was that? Did they have to dig it out of themselves?
No.
Was it that
No,
one?
no.
That was in another one.
Yeah, the whole thing was Jigsaw gave them all the opportunities to get away unscathed, but they're, you know, you don't think about that.
Yeah.
So he was in a bathtub full of water, and when he woke up, he jerked in the plug, and then
yeah.
So that's not really fucking fair.
No, it's not fair at all.
But,
it's a total trick. It's total like no.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Like Jigsaw's like, yeah, we went down the bathtub drain. The guy'd be like, what went down? Like he wouldn't even seen
Yeah.
it. Like
Yeah.
There was a key? Really?
Yeah.
Thought you only gave me a hacksaw.
Yeah.
Dick. yeah. So we meet them. Blah, blah, blah. Then he says you're going to stay for a month. So then at this point, Keanu's giving us like, I realize now that I'm a prisoner in this castle.
Oh, yeah, the journal.
it was
they-
in that
they-
moment
they-
he realized.
They dig soil. They put earth into boxes,
yes.
and they don't know why they're putting earth in
The
boxes.
gypsies
And I
that he
forgot
has
about that. I was
working
like,
for him.
I was like, why? What are they doing? Oh yeah, because he apparently has to sleep in the dirt of his
Yeah,
hometown.
see that's the
Yeah.
like there are all sorts of like things in this movie that like about vampires that like so like that don't follow anymore. Like movies don't follow anymore, right?
Yeah.
But like that, like he had to sleep in like the earth of his homeland and stuff
Yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
right? And then like he can go out in the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
which was
know.
kinda
I
neat.
don't know when the can't go out in the sun started.
But apparently that it was just like out of nowhere. Like some movie was
Yeah.
just like, oh, they can't go out in the sun.
I never understood that either.
No.
No,
I thought it was just a thing. Just like, hey, whoever made up vampires is like, they can't go in the
No,
sun.
like in the original Stoker's novel, like he can go. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing about how he can't go out in the sun.
Yeah, he can go out
and
in
in
the
this
daylight.
movie, he
He's
goes out
just
in the
weaker.
daylight. Yeah.
Dude in Blade did it, but he was wearing sunblock. Which I did. It shouldn't have worked.
Is that
'cause he would've-
true?
He
I've
would have
never
burned his
s- is
eyeballs.
that true? I've
You've
never
never
seen-
seen Blade?
No,
Oh man.
I don't want to now.
Blade's a day walker. Blade's a
I
day
know.
walker, so he can walk in the day. And the guy that plays Frost he's like, oh look, he's like sunblock. Really? Yeah, but your eyeballs. You can't sunblock your eyeballs, so it doesn't work. Your eyes would burn.
Yeah.
You know,
I've never understood
Blade was
the
great, though.
reasoning behind vampires not being able to go in sunlight.
I think it's just
Because if you put like vampires are undead, so if I
well, it's
wow,
more
this
than
got,
just that.
No, I
like-
know, but
a
if I
curse,
were
right?
but if I were
Yeah,
to,
but if I was a vampire, I wouldn't want that. Is that
no,
what you want?
no, that's not what I was gonna say. I was gonna say if I went to a graveyard and dug up a corpse and flung it out into the daylight, it wouldn't burst
Yeah, but
into
it's not
flame.
cursed with eternal blood-sucking life.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it's just there's undead and
I
there's
don't know.
vampires. There's different rules.
Like I don't know what I don't know why I'm arguing with it because
Yeah.
I don't know where it started either.
Are you a vampire?
yeah.
No.
Yeah,
but,
that sounds like something a vampire would say.
what was with the wolves in the movie? Though?
I know. Well,
Like,
that's
can
I
you
guess they're
control-
just
why was
the
the
guardians
vampire
of his castle. I guess that's what I was thinking.
But that also brings it back to later on in the movie. He takes shape of a wolf.
That's another thing too. Is
Why?
I think vampires can shapeshift. I think that's
well,
a thing
yeah,
too. That,
like
that-
turning into bats. But then why would he turn into a werewolf? And if he's turning into a werewolf or a wolf, where the hell did original werewolves cover? Like it doesn't.
Well,
I
I haven't.
understand.
Like I said, I never read the full book, and it's a bit dated now. But I'm pretty sure, like in the book, like he can shapeshift, like
Yeah.
into other animals, like
Yeah.
more than just bats, like wolves too, and shit
Yeah.
like
oh yeah,
that,
no,
right?
Van Helsing mentions that actually
Yeah.
when they bring him in later.
Oh.
So now they're in London. So he's in London now. He takes the trip.
Werewolves in
Werewolves in
London.
London. Anthony Hopkins, aka Van Helsing, gives us the narration of we went across. I can't remember what he sounded like. We went across the ocean in a ship with the blah blah blah, and a storm rolled in and pushed them all the way to London. And then he starts eating all the crewmates
Yeah.
on the ship
Yeah,
along
that's a
the
good
way.
part too.
Yeah. It's actually
That's a
pretty cool.
movie. That's a movie on its own. Like,
Yeah,
they should
the
take that
vampire
into
on
a
the
movie.
ship.
Yeah.
Dracula 2.
Yeah.
The Voyage.
Yeah.
Bram
So they-
Stoker's Dracula 2.
The sea voyage.
The sea voyage.
He's eating the crew.
Yeah.
So they get there, yeah, and this is where he's. I love his outfit. I love
know.
his old school outfit.
yeah.
And
It's
his
pretty
He's
bad.
got his
glasses.
sunglasses.
But this is where he sees Mina and he's doing the see me.
Yeah.
I kept thinking of What We Do in the Shadows, where he's like, I'm going to hypnotize this guy. And he's
Yeah.
like, see.
Yeah.
The guy he's like,
hits
it's
the
not
window.
working. I don't know why all my accents sound like Jean-Claude Van Damme now.
And then they based that character's appearance in What We Do in the Shadows on Gary Oldman in this movie.
Really?
right?
Yeah, he's Vlad because he's Vlad.
Vlad the poker. Yeah.
Vlad the poker.
Yeah. With
You've seen What We Do in the
Yes,
Shadows. Yeah.
long ago.
I'm pretty sure I made her.
Yeah.
I was
Nice.
like, you gotta watch this.
Yeah.
I just rewatched it
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Hadn't seen it in a while. I was like, man, I forgot how good this was.
Yeah.
I'm a vampire. I keep telling everybody that we're vampires.
I love when they're in the club and he's like, this fuck telling everyone we're vampires.
Oh, really? I'm a vampire hunter. Cool. Yeah, he actually is. You find him in the basement.
Have you watched the show?
No, but I didn't realize there was a series. And then
Yeah.
someone was like, "There's a series now."
Yeah, there's
3
a series.
seasons or 2 seasons.
2 seasons. The second season just finished.
I think next
The second season is way better than the first season.
Oh.
The first season has its funny too, but the second season really gets it really kind of found their.
Yeah, I'm gonna
their footing.
download that and check it out. I just watched Brand New World.
Oh
episodes of
yeah,
Aldous
that's the one with
Huxley's
Han
book.
Solo in it, right?
What? Han
Oh,
Solo?
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah,
where I
yeah,
recognize
from-
the guy.
yeah,
Oh,
from Solo.
Alden
He's John the
something.
Savage.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
Isn't that movie based on a book or that show?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a-
1932 Aldous Huxley book.
Spooky.
Pretty good.
It's called
a
Brave New
spooky
World.
book,
Brave New World.
Yeah.
That's what the name of the book was.
Okay.
It's good. It's good. So, she's a bit of a cunt here to him. He's just like, hello, my dear. I am new to town, trying to find this cinematograph, and she's like, go get yourself a book, asshole.
Yeah, go get yourself a map,
like,
you idiot.
I
Not
have
even like he
offended
looks like
you.
garbage, hey? Like he's like a good looking, like
Yeah.
dressed well dude.
Not a homeless dude. Like, excuse me,
And
cinematograph.
as soon as he's like, I'm a prince, like then
Yeah, then she's like,
Whoa.
Keanu who? Like,
Yeah.
I
I-
forget,
that
like-
poor lawyer.
Did I say husband? No, I meant ex-boyfriend.
Fiance.
Hi.
Also, later on or earlier on, when Lucy's like, I'm 20, I'm practically a hag. I was like, I felt that.
Listen, whore.
Yeah,
A
listen.
bit of a flirty hoe.
20 is
There's just so much sexual undertones.
I-
in this movie. It's not even undertones. It's very on the surface. I
Yeah.
don't know what I'm talking about.
Watching this, I was like, this movie is going to impregnate me. I'm going to finish this movie.
Because at this point, before we see him, or just after we see him, this is where Lucy gets drawn outside.
Yeah, and
he's in werewolf form, banging her on the bench.
Yeah.
Not like just like whoa, and he's like, "Don't see me."
Yeah, what the
I'm like, okay,
hell?
I guess it worked because she didn't see you.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the hypnotism.
Yeah.
And then,
But also, if she saw him, would she be like, "Hey, you're that
Whoa.
guy I met on the
Yeah. Whoa.
street"?
And what was with this part too? I think this might have been the same scene, like where there was raining. They
Yeah.
started making out.
Yeah.
yeah, that was
Winona
strange.
Ryder
That was
and
during
Lucy
the whole
started-
storm scene, the ship and the narration and stuff.
They
Yeah.
were making out.
Yeah, straight up.
What was going on?
Sexual tension.
What?
They
No.
were-
Jonathan won't have sex with her until they're married, and she's like, "I need to get off
Gotta
somehow."
get
And
me
Lucy's
something.
like, "Well, it doesn't count if it's us."
Like I said,
That's
Lucy's
the
a bit of
vibe.
a hoe. She
Or-
is.
Hey, I mean,
I just
toot your
I don't understand.
bi-curious
Well,
horn.
she's hooking up with Arthur too,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, she
yeah,
was
well,
all
she was
over.
with Jack,
Yeah.
the doctor, as well. But I
True.
think he lost out to Arthur there. So
Okay, also, why was there like a random American there when he's like, "Oh, you got a roon tootin'
oh yeah,
big hoe
Yeah.
bag on you," and Arthur's like, "Shut your mouth,
Don't.
Yankee."
don't talk about
Quincy
my
and
fiancé
the hell?
this way. Quincy, that's right, Quincy.
Quincy.
Because yeah, that's the scene where they go in and Jack is looking at her and
Yeah.
she's like she's been bit at that point. So they
But
can't
she's
figure out
having
what's
a
wrong- what's
necklace
wrong with her.
covering up, and
There's
she's
all
like,
sorts of weird, dude.
Yeah.
Like when they're
Oh, yeah.
bit too, and she's like undressing, and I'm like, what is going
Yeah.
on here? Like, what is
Well,
going on?
Jack's like, oh my god, I can't believe you're marrying Arthur, and she's like, kiss me, Jack, and he's like,
Yeah.
well, all right then.
"Yeah."
No, buddy, no, that's she's taken now. And that's where he's like, I don't know what's wrong with her. I think it's,
I don't know
think it's, he goes, I think it's psychological. And he's like, I called Van Helsing. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I don't know what's wrong with her.
Was this the point? Oh, wait. It's coming up soon. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, yeah, this is where Van Helsing, we flash to him. He's given a class, a little seminar. He's cutting something open, and they're like, oh, there's a telegraph for you. He's like, oh, telegraph. Oh, yes, I must go to London at once. So he ends up in London, and this is where he's like, Van Helsing tells the Doc and Arthur that they're dealing with a vampire. So yeah, he read.
He
read well because he read Dracula because he's like, oh, you guys read this new book? Just came out, 1897.
Hot off the press.
He's like, I just finished reading it. I bet you this is a vampire. Good thing I read this. Good thing I read.
Good thing I can read. Good thing the printing press was out.
It's like, good thing I'm white. Like,
Yeah.
So meanwhile, we flash back. Keanu's getting drained. He's been like, getting drained by these 3 wives, and like he can't escape. And he's like, I've tried to escape once before,
but
I will try once more tonight.
And he just jumps out the window.
He rolls out of the window
into the river.
Yeah.
into the river that.
Cold. He should have died of hypothermia. It looked cold in Transylvania.
Well, yeah, but remember, because it was. I'm assuming this is the same castle that she jumped out of in the beginning.
Like in the river.
Yeah.
So he'd be fine. He used to have a little bit of blood trickling out of his mouth in the
that's
beginning,
true.
because that's all she had.
Yeah.
It's a tall
It
jump.
didn't
tall
break him
fall.
into pieces like it should have.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you hit water from a couple 100 feet, it's like hitting concrete.
Yeah.
But I
At
think
least-
for his, didn't we kind of see him like roll out? Like
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
His
He
wasn't
rolled.
like his wasn't like Winona's or like
Yeah.
where she was
Her
like
fall was graceful.
Yeah.
It was just like,
yeah
like guy's lost a lot of blood.
yeah
Like he's, he can only produce so much blood every hour.
yeah.
Anyway, so
Babies can only last so long.
he finds the people in the church and is like, well, I better send a message.
Oh yeah.
I've
reached a
See,
convent.
I forgot about that scene already. I just watched the movie and I forgot about scenes like that.
it
Like,
just-
time to watch it again. I
It
guess.
does jump back and forth quite a bit.
Yeah.
And if you're not
Yes, it's very
really
disjointed.
Yeah, if you're not
Yeah.
really focused on it, you're like, crap, what did I just miss?
Yeah.
So then we go back to Lucy, and this is where I got a kick out of this. I think it was Quincy walks in, he goes, Lucy, Arthur told me I'm supposed to put you down if they can't fix you.
Yeah.
Like a lame horse. I'm like, I wrote that down. It's like, I gotta put you down like a lame horse.
That's
What?
the Yankee.
Yeah.
The Yankee's like,
Well, you can't figure out what's wrong with her, Doc. I'll take care of her.
I'll
I guess they didn't
kill
have
her.
shotguns back then, but
Yeah.
well, no, maybe they did. No, they had shotguns back then. It was 1800s.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh
Muskets.
yeah. Oh yeah. They had more than muskets in 1897.
Hold on, I've got to reload.
yeah. Mina goes out on a date with
Oh, yeah.
Prince Vlad.
Cool.
And then she goes and sees Lucy, and Lucy gives her. See, this didn't make sense to me. Lucy gives her the ring she's wearing.
Sorry.
And she's like, no, take it, blah, blah, blah. Wedding gift, whatever. But then later on, Lucy's wearing that ring. Like, I thought you
Ooh.
gave it to her. What the hell? But anyway, they go on a date, and she's really feeling Vlad. And she's like, I don't know what to do. I like him, but I like the other two.
And then she gets a letter, and she's like, oh, my Jonathan is alive. And then she's just instantly where Jonathan is, and they're getting married. And why was he so powdery looking?
Yeah.
His
What is
hair
that
was so
about? I wondered that too.
gray.
Is that what's that? Did that have to do with like being sucked by
Yeah,
blood? Like his
probably.
hair's
I
gone
didn't-
gray.
like
I didn't know if it
aged.
was that or just some sort of like the ritual they did in
but
that
then he's
church.
powdery throughout the rest
Yeah.
of the movie.
Oh, maybe
Yeah.
maybe the bloodletting
Yeah.
did kind of
Also-
age him a little bit.
Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder always like kind of joke around that they're married.
Yeah, because apparently they are.
Yeah, because that scene they had a real Romanian priest to
Oh.
be authentic.
Are they still
marry them?
Apparently.
Yeah. So like Keanu says he'll still get texts from Winona sometimes being like, "Hey husband."
Yeah.
Well, I should hope so if they are actually married.
I think they are because the director after the scene was filmed, he was like,
Oh,
"I think
yeah.
I think this is real."
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If they don't like when you get married, you have to sign
Yeah.
something with witnesses.
Yeah.
So they could be like married in the sense that legally a
eyes of
priest
God.
did it, but if
Yeah.
they didn't sign
like
something,
a,
then
a marriage certificate
Yeah.
with witnesses.
yeah,
I think what it is it's like they were technically married
Mm-hmm.
and like in a church maybe even
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
and by this priest, right?
Yeah.
And as far as
it
God
just
is
wasn't
concerned,
legalized.
they'll be going to the gates together.
Yeah,
If he's even real.
yeah.
If God saw them. And now the next thing I just wrote was Oh, yes, they go back. Van Helsing's like, because Lucy at this point has died or been. No,
Yeah, she's
Lucy's
dead.
like losing her shit now,
Yeah.
full-on vampire. And she's
Boobies
like,
are hanging out. and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
her tits are out.
titties are out. Oh,
And all the dudes are in the room like, "Are you okay?"
yeah.
Like,
Pin her down.
Yeah.
Hold her down. Hold on, I got
Yeah.
the other end. Oh yeah, because she's being watched by Quincy, and this
Yeah.
is where Dracula
And
comes
she's
back, and
like,
he's like, "You can't protect her."
Yeah.
And smashes through the door and Quincy up, and then Lucy's like, and they kill her. I like the line from Van Helsing where he's like, "Oh, I have to see her body. Well, what do you want to do? I just want to chop off her head and take her heart out."
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, oh, okay. Oh yeah, it's there. That's where they fight her, stab her with I can't remember if it was stakes or silver or something.
Yeah, steaks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then just hacks her head off.
Yeah. I love it. There's a scene. I think it's before they they're having dinner with Anthony Hopkins, Winona Ryder, and Keanu.
Oh,
Oh, it's
yeah.
after the wedding, isn't
And
it?
yeah, it's after the wedding, and it's before they decide, I think, to go and kill her or to kill the vampire her. And Winona Ryder's like, "Was she in pain?" And he's like, "Extremely painful. Yes,
Yeah.
very much pain. Yes." He
Van
was in-
Helsing had no chill.
No.
No chill. He was like blunt, just
Yeah.
to the point. Like this is what's
He
happening.
was like, of course it was painful.
Yeah.
You idiot.
chopped her head right off.
Yeah, clean off.
And now it's vampire hunting time. That's
Yeah.
like my next big note. Vampire hunting time, and then I have like 3 more notes because the next 40 minutes is just them preparing
versus
to
Dracula.
go hunt
Yeah.
Dracula down, which is actually pretty cool. Like this is
Yeah.
So this movie was like super exciting first 30 minutes,
Yeah.
really slow middle.
Yeah.
Like I remember writing down at 105, I was like, man, I'm kind of bored.
Yeah.
Like, holy, this doesn't have to be 2 hours and 7 minutes long.
Yeah.
But this last 40 minutes was pretty exciting.
In
Yeah.
this 2 hours and 7 minutes, somebody could cut down a really good hour
Yeah.
and 45.
Yeah.
movie.
Easily.
Yeah.
even shorter than that.
Yeah.
Like
Like an hour and a
15.
half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like-
then when they're going to go fight, they take her to the psych place where the first lawyer is.
Renfield.
To keep her
It
safe.
was funny. He cracked me up the whole movie.
I know.
He was always creepy. He was just like weird and like
Spiders and flies.
Worms.
yeah,
yeah.
And he like there's one scene early on where he's like, "Would you like some?" And the guy's
Yeah.
like, "No, it's
I'm
okay."
good.
And he's like, "It's quite delightful."
And it's not like he's talking nonsense. They are
Yeah.
packed full of protein.
Yeah.
And I do like the comparison with what we do in the shadows with the whole familiar. Like the
Familiars,
familiar that
yeah.
he's like, you said you were going to make me, give me eternal life. And now I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just doing his bidding.
Yeah.
And so she's going to bed or whatever, and Dracula visits her, and then they
yeah.
don't like. It's very sexually charged, but she's like, "I love you. I don't want to be with Jonathan. I feel so bad."
I think it's
Because she remembers
she's
her
she's remembering
past life.
her past life.
Yeah.
right?
And he's going to turn her, but he can't. He's
Yeah,
like,
he's
"Nah,
like,
he
I
knows
can't-
it's bad. He
can't do
knows
it."
it's bad, right?
Yeah.
But, you
And
know.
she's like, "I don't care."
So this is
That's
almost,
a heated scene. That's a,
this
that
movie's
is- there's a lot of
almost,
sweat.
it's
Yeah.
almost the story of a man tormented with eternal life, struggling to come to grips with whether he wants to turn his true love
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
the same as him or not. So it's
Yeah.
like there's a couple different, it almost feels like there's a few different storylines going on in
Yeah.
this movie.
There's a
like
lot
you
going
said
on.
earlier, yeah.
Yeah. It's very, there's a lot going on. It's very destroying. Which is kind of like why I, every few years ago, I don't really remember that movie because there's so much that happens.
Yeah.
Like you're only focusing on like one storyline, right? And you're like, what the fuck is going on over here? Right?
Yeah.
Like,
So like I did find it like, oh my God, it's kind of hard to keep track of
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
But like this last 30, 40 minutes was like, oh, we know what's going on.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
hunting,
Yeah.
they're hunting Dracula.
yeah, real quick.
That's
yeah.
it.
So she has his blood in her, and she's turning, and they're going after to hunt Dracula, and she's off with Van Helsing, and then she gets communication to
The other wives.
from the other wives to like maim or hurt or kill or mess up Van Helsing.
Yeah.
And then she's coming on to him, and she's like,
Oh yeah, that's a weird scene.
yeah. And then he snaps out of it and realizes what she's doing. And then all of a sudden, the next scene is him holding the three wives' heads.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because he goes in and chops them all off. He's like,
Yeah.
well, you're done.
How
Throws them off the
dare
wall.
you
I'm like,
try to manipulate me?
wow. chops the 3 wives' heads off.
Yeah.
And then they're waiting on the walls, and they're like, oh, they're trying to race the sunset, so they have to. And that was a pretty intense scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why were they, like, I don't understand why they were racing the sunset. Oh, because he'd be strongest.
Yes, he'd be
Yeah.
stronger in the nighttime.
Yeah.
The nighttime is the right time.
He also looked like he hadn't fed in a while.
Yeah.
He was real ugly.
Yeah, he was very.
Yeah, so he was
Very.
fucked up.
Yeah.
He was up. Yeah.
It's in your head
I'll
now.
do that
right?
one for you.
There's a few. There's 3 of us. I know there's
Yeah.
gonna be a bunch. I'll leave a couple in.
Yeah. And then they fight him and they stab him and
they maim him, and she's like cradling him.
she's like,
and-
no. And then all of a sudden they're like, we've done our job.
Yeah.
We've hurt him. She has to do like, what?
It seemed kind of odd to just leave it to her because
Yeah,
she
they're
might
gonna
not
go
have done
hunt.
it. Then they could have been like, wow, he could have just got back inside and been like, ha, it's my stronghold.
Yeah.
You guys are screwed. I'm gonna come back
Idiot.
stronger. But she ends up finishing him off. Like stabs him
Yeah,
right
she's
through
like,
the heart,
"I
and
love
then
you."
chops his head off.
And then, she turns him back into his normal
right.
self
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
she
so they
loves
can say
him.
goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, she chops his damn head off. And then she's fine? Like, she's not a vampire
Yeah, she goes back to
anymore?
Keanu.
Well, because
Yeah,
she
maybe
didn't get,
killed-
because you said
yeah.
she was turning, but he didn't bite her.
No.
He didn't turn her.
Yeah.
So she
Yes,
wasn't turning.
Yeah, he bit her.
Yeah,
Did
he
he?
bit her.
Yeah.
And
I
then
thought
she
he
was
didn't,
drinking his blood.
Yeah,
Oh.
Which I didn't really know that. I thought you just had to be bit by a vampire. I didn't think you had to drink their blood too.
Yeah. I can't
Oh.
remember
Like,
now.
if
There's
that's
too
the
many
case, I'll
rules.
just let a vampire. If it feels good, then
Yeah.
apparently
you
it
don't want to
does.
drink blood after. You're like, well, I'm thirsty now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. So that was it.
yeah.
That's Dracula.
Yeah, it just abruptly ends.
So what did you
Yeah.
real rate this one?
I real rated this 7 sexually charged scenes out of 10 Transylvania dirt boxes because it was good. It was entertaining. The storytelling and the visuals were really great. The only things I didn't like were the fact that I feel like they set Keanu up for failure because he was so exhausted, and I just don't think at that point in his life he was the right person for that job. And the fact that now I know they wanted Johnny Depp, but the director was like, no.
Johnny Depp wouldn't have been fucking good in either though.
Yeah,
Johnny Depp.
Keanu he seemed like the right fit for this, and it's hard to see someone else in that role after you've
Yeah.
seen Keanu.
He
in it.
wasn't, he wasn't bad. It's just you could tell he was so
out
tired
of
and
it, yeah.
not, and then I also took points away for the really horrible hair extensions. Like, come on, you're getting paid hair and makeup Hollywood
You can't
salaries for
depoint
that.
for the. Well,
Yeah, I can.
Well,
This
she
is
can,
my
she
show.
did.
And then I also took 1 point away because I just don't understand how a vampire can shapeshift into a werewolf like that. That I didn't get. But
because they can shapeshift.
yeah, but why? Then what's the point of actual werewolves? Where does
I
that
don't know,
come
Dracula
in?
isn't a werewolf story. It's a vampire story.
I know, but why can a vampire turn into a werewolf when they're two separate?
I don't know if they can.
Geniuses!
I don't know. I don't know. Bram Stoker didn't write werewolves. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Evan,
Hello?
what's your real rating on this one?
I'd rate it a 7 as well
Yeah.
because I think it is very flawed. But I just think that I think it's got so much, like the visuals in it are just so good, and the costume design. I mean,
Yes.
why is he werewolf? Whatever though, but the costumes are just like awesome throughout. Like the werewolf costume when he turns into the bat.
Yeah,
that's killer.
Yeah.
Like when they all bust into like the psycho ward and he's the bat after him and Winona.
Yeah.
And then there's the other one on Lucy when she's the vampire
Yes.
in the tomb. Like, just creepy. Like, just great costumes throughout, like, the whole movie.
And all the effects were practical.
Yeah, all the effects, yeah, a lot of practical effects, too. Because I know that Francis Ford Coppola wanted to make the movie bait. Like, he was inspired by, like, Nosferatu and things like that,
Yes.
which you can tell it's all, like, shadows and lighting. And I think the visuals, and I think we didn't talk about the soundtrack, is, like, unreal.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
suited the movie
soundtrack
really
is
well.
really good. And so those things kind of make it all a good film, in my opinion. So like 7 out of 10. Although it's very disjointed,
Yeah.
at times confusing if you
Yes.
don't know like the story and what's going on.
And if you don't have subtitles on.
and if you don't have subtitles on.
Yeah.
And so for those reasons, it's kind of very flawed, but still good. I think.
This is getting 7s all around. I gave it 7 severed heads out of 10 hairy vampire sex scenes. I thought he was a hairy vampire, not a werewolf. It's kind of the same thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it was. There was a little disjointed. It dragged in a lot of spots. They could have cut out 20 minutes of this movie and it would have been tighter and
Yeah.
better. I feel like there was some stuff in there that was unnecessary, but still an enjoyable movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still classic.
Thanks for
It kind
coming
of
in and
feels like a
joining
classic
us.
horror movie.
Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
That's kind of what it feels like, a classic gothic horror
It
film.
was a good pick to release on Halloween.
Yes. Yes.
Do you wanna? You got a show coming
You
up.
gonna plug
Do you want
yourself?
to plug your show?
Plug.
Plug it.
December 1st at the VEC.
The vet.
I don't know what it
Victoria Event
is.
Center. I think it's just a book
It's a
comedy show. Yeah.
Yeah, comedy show.
Also, shout out to my friend
yes.
Justin's podcast, Night of the Podcast. Him and his
Night of
two
the
friends review paranormal stories and ghost stories and spooky stuff. So by the time this episode is released, their podcast will have launched. So
Nice.
check out Night of the Podcast on Spotify.
Check out the link below.
Yeah, it's on the screen here somewhere.
Yeah.
We'll put a little card up right there.
Yeah.
All right. Follow us on YouTube, subscribe, turn on notifications so you get all of our stuff.
bing,
New
bing,
content every week.
Yeah.
Evan, thanks again for
Hey.
coming on the
Yeah.
show, man.
Happy to
And
do
now
it.
we've got, I think, 5 more that we're going to
Yeah.
We got a series
given
to
us
do. Yeah, we got a lot to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's call it there. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
This is Real Garbage.